hit the wrong button by accident, guys. So I had to start another stream. I was just getting into my talk. I'm glad y'all was able to recognize, refresh, and come back. Yeah, I hit the wrong button. Kind of hard to drive and see the buttons I'm hitting. We'll let everybody figure it out. And we'll start it back up. Start it back up. Sell the country out for a paycheck. Yeah. All that taking up your oath of office, oath of service, oath to the Constitution, all that junk goes out the window. You put these same people's paycheck on the line. Now they want to sell out their own oath, and they want to violate your constitutional rights. That's why a lot of folks were saying, like, oh, the military ain't gonna go along with this new war to take over, and the police ain't gonna go along with this new war to take over. Shit. I always knew they would go along with it because they got them so dependent upon this government gravy train called a paycheck. A lot of these folks can't function without it. So if you try to take them out of that position, guess what? Shit, they don't know how to make money no other fucking way. Not knowing they probably cutting off their own blessing. Their own blessing. If they cut you off from that government trough, then that will force you to be creative in generating some income, and that might be more your lane, and it might be more profitable on top of it. Hey, hit the wrong button, so I was hoping y'all figure it out and come on over to the new stream I started. I hit the wrong button when I was trying to cancel their call out. Telemarketers or whatever, getting a zillion calls a day with telemarketers, trying to block them all. Of course, they go out and get freaking, they must got a million freaking numbers they can call you from. I've been blocking, my block game is on 10 and they still be getting through. They're calling me for all kind of stuff. But, yeah, so that's why I never really put that much faith in the law enforcement and stuff like that. Yeah, I'm not trying to I'm not trying to listen to them, because I know when it comes to that oath, they don't really mean it, because anytime that paycheck is threatened, guess what? They'll go along with some illegal orders. And based off of the art of war, you don't supposed to go along with illegal orders. The general's supposed to have autonomy enough they could go against the rulers and the Senate laws if those laws are corrupt. But when they do that, ain't no pushback. They pretty much got continuity in government now. They can put forth any illegal color of law rule, regulation or whatever, ordinance, and the government, the law enforcement and the military, they gonna carry it out. And I'm sure they already read the Constitution, but does that matter? Nope. Don't matter. And it's been the same way in Canada. Them dudes up there like armed thugs. Literally. They just picking and choosing. Put your phone on. Do not disturb. Oh yeah, you're right. That's definitely what I need to do. See if I can go on the phone. I'm gonna have to wait till after the stream to do it. Mess around and hang up. Mess around and hang up again on y'all. Hopefully that'll be enough. They haven't called me in a minute, so hopefully it'll be the last call we get today. But yeah, what we got to worry about up there in Canada now is the fact that yeah, I saw the what you said about Jason Irvin. Yeah, I haven't seen him in a minute, but yeah, I'll slide by him next time I'm near the west side. I know where he at. Slide on and see what he's talking about. Nah, I said some people think that. I never thought that. Yeah, I never thought that. I knew that they would violate the Constitution because they would violate the Constitution with us. You know what I mean? The so-called black man here in North America, black woman, black children, they violate our constitutional rights on a daily basis, and when nobody's standing up to them, you know? And the media would team up with them and, you know what I'm saying, run the full court press and blame the victim. They blame you for getting killed. You know what I mean? Just don't even, and then they don't even bring up the constitutionality of what happened. Your civil rights and all of that, your constitutional rights, they never even bring that into question. They always bring up your character. And they've been able to successfully convince albinoid juries to convict you, and they've been doing it. Now they have decided to roll out the new order against everybody, including the people, right, who were on these juries violating our constitutional rights. Now it's time for them to get theirs violated. And at this point, they haven't been standing up. And I've been waiting to see them stand up like, wait a minute, you treating us like the N-words, that how we've been treating N-words all this time. Now we're starting to get treated that way. So I've been waiting for them to stand up and say, wait a minute, pump the brakes. And then I think at that point is when they'll finally get it on how we've been feeling. Right? See, there ain't no fun until the rabbit got the gun. Okay, it's cool when the black man and woman and child is being, you know, demonized in the press, right, and in society. But now they're shifting the focus to the albinoid male, and he not liking that. Surprise, surprise. I wonder why. Now they get drugged into court. Now they getting sentenced, right? Left and right and up to center. Now they being demonized in the press, right? They talking about domestic terrorism. Who do you think they talking about? They ain't talking about us. They talking about them. They're already branding them, right? So when they get tired of getting treated like N-words, they gonna want to stand up. Of course, they got guns. They got guns, right? They mad as hell, right? So of course, you already know. So they already coming up with a legal justification by dubbing them domestic terrorists. There really ain't no domestic terrorists. If anything, I shouldn't say that. Let me take that back, because yeah, it has been domestic terrorism perpetrated against us, right? Our ancestors, and, you know, we've been the ones dealing with domestic terrorism for the most part. Now they're going to take that same word now and apply it to albinoid males, and they're not going to like it. The Constitution, rights are being stripped. They're going to go to court. They get sentenced now. They start to get buried in the system. They want to dare to speak up, huh? Okay. You want to speak up. You want to talk. You want to talk about freedom. Now is where the great fight is going to come from. So what they got to worry about in Canada is them bringing in paid agents to get amongst the crowd. They're going to dress like the crowd. They're going to have signs like the crowd. And it's going to be their job to provoke an altercation with the police, so the police can shut it down violently, and then they can turn a protest into riots. Might get them to break some windows, turn on some mailboxes, firebomb a few cars. Watch. Because the people are talking about shutting that Capitol down. I've been hearing stuff like 6 months. I don't know if people can do 6 months. Or was it 6 weeks? I've been hearing a few different reports. So, you know, they can't allow them to do that, because eventually, you know, you got a 500,000 to 750,000 people there with cell phones. They can't contain that. So they talking about, I think a year ago or something, they passed an internet kill switch bill up there in Canada. So maybe they'll kill the internet, because even though the media is state run basically, how you gonna shut down 750,000 cell phones in one event, broadcasting all over the world? So it's gonna be hard to shut that down, but then you could just kill the internet. So if you kill the internet, you're probably gonna have to kill the power, right? Cause an altercation with the police as the cover, right? And then blame these folks as some type of domestic threat. So I'm hoping it don't go that way, but that's what I feel, the pit of my stomach, or how it's gonna go up there. organized, really. So yeah, I can see some goofiness taking place. But the whole world is kind of looking now. It's getting out through cell phone footage that what's going on up there. Now, the problem is, what are we gonna do? We in the same boat. What are we gonna do? I don't get it. Like, we can get 1 million truck drivers in a flame place. We'll be looking at the same thing. That's why I wouldn't necessarily participate in anything, because I know they got too many agents here in America. FBI, CIA, ATF, all the alphabet boys. And they will unleash pretty much all the agencies on 1 million truck drivers trying to descend upon DC. They will release all the alphabet boys into the crowd. They be in there instigating all kind of madness. Yeah. So that's why I wouldn't participate in anything, because I can't predict who's gonna show up. And since I ain't no dummy, I got enough sense to look back at history to see how they've been doing our people. Now this chunk want to get over. Could have just let me on by. Now I got to slow down. Got over because of that car. I know you see the flags on. Ain't nobody in that car, dude. That would be the thing that I worry about if we try to do that here in America. They already got that domestic terrorism term ready for us. Stay on over there with this guy. Driving slow too. So that's why I wouldn't do it here, but all eyes should be on Canada right now, people. Should be on Canada. Y'all can go to this website. I put it up on my community tab, Rebel News. You can go to the community tab on my page, on my channel, and I got a link to one of the videos. Go there and subscribe so you can kind of get an idea. They're like a independent, alternative, grassroots news agency, right? Just grassroots folks that's getting the truth out there. So we need to, support them in the same way, because what they're doing there, we need to be doing here. I think here they're gonna want to collapse this fiat currency first. That would definitely bring us to our knees. Really, we need to be out in the streets of drugs right now before they collapse the dollar. I think once they collapse the dollar, I think it's going to be game over for us. Yeah, I think it's going to be game over. We really should be in the streets already. 300 million people in the country. Conservatively, 1 million showed up in DC and shut it down. It was willing to stay there as long as it took, and in the rest of the country, if we were willing to make sure that they got water and food and blankets and this and that and this and that, they could camp out on the street, shut the whole thing down. And then once they tried to bring in the military, we can ask another million to descend on that, to have the whole DC The whole, what they call that area, the whole tri-state area, they're blocked. They can't even get in. The only way they're able to get in is by helicopter. But all those politicians on a quasi-house arrest. At the same time, determine them to be illegitimate. Stay away from troublemakers. Yeah, I already said that. Yeah, I said that. That's why I said I wouldn't really go myself, only because of that reason. I understand what happened to us back in the 60s, 70s, 50s. His turn to get out there and march for freedom. It's our job to sit back and let him march now. Let him go out there and get his head busted. Let him out there and get the tear gas, get the dogs, the water cannons, and the, you know what I mean? The alphabet boys, incite them and, you know, demonize them. It's their turn. Our turn to sit back and cheer them on from a distance. Because when we were doing it, they wasn't coming out in droves to help us. Yeah, it might have been a few folks, a few albinoid devils that, you know, wanted to be on the right side of history, and they came out there with us. Okay, granted. But the vast majority of the dominant society, no. I don't know why they say they insist on stand on my butt. Not go away. Yeah, it's the albinoid male's turn. The females, it's their turn to get out here and march for freedom. Fight for freedom. Take them bullets. Take them rubber bullets. Take those dogs, water cannons. Clubs upside the fucking head. It's their turn to take it. It's their turn now. When we were doing it, they like look at us down there big, and they was calling us up, saying everything about us. Okay, yeah, I hear you. Right. Yeah. They was able to successfully turn the narrative against us. Okay, now it's y'all turn. They got more to lose in a collapse of the country. Takeover of America, they got more to lose than we do. We not the main economic engine of the country. They are. We're gear in the system, but they pretty much the system. We're just the gear in it. I'm not belittling our accomplishments and our contributions to freedom in this country, because we've paid a heavy price for the little freedom that we do have. Now everybody gets to lose it. Okay? And so they should be in the streets because they have more to lose. They've been able to successfully keep the financial apparatuses out of our hands through their, collective hoarding. So in the collapse of a nation, they have more to lose. Right or wrong? So if they the ones who have more to lose in the collapse of this nation, they should be the ones out here fighting and picketing the illegitimate government to kind of push back on some of this authoritarian takeover. Am I wrong? know why people do this. You just want to stay on my left side. She gonna pass me. She gonna get off. Do something, lady. I don't like you being on the side of me because if I try to get over, she's gonna be in the way. I know how to drive. 72, so she could easily fall back, but she just stand right there. It's amazing to me why people do this. But anyway, put her life in her own hands. But what do y'all think? I'm sure y'all should feel the way I feel. Our people didn't suffer enough about to lose that damn thing over there. I think you tried to fly. Mike, Jim Crow, Joe up there talking about a few weeks back, something about domestic terrorism. What the hell was he talking about? Virtual signaling to powers that be. Yeah, we're gonna ram this stuff down their throats, and eventually somebody gonna get enough hard to say, wait a minute. They got a label. Anybody that want to stand up to this stuff. Am I right? That's why I say Canada's going to be a good test case for us. Okay. We started with the trucker, so we can do it here. I wouldn't participate in it only because I couldn't trust the truckers, because that's who they gonna bring. It probably won't be like they just decided to do that. When the agents come in, they're gonna dress like truckers. And the fact is, we look like some of everybody in society, so you can't just look at a guy and tell he drives truck. You don't see the telltale thing, boots, certain type of jeans, certain type of boots, certain type of jackets, certain type of skull caps, earpiece. Anybody can run out and get that stuff. They can blend into those agents would be able to blend into the crowd so easy. Of course, we got a lot of useful idiots that are following somebody that's, got their chest out. That's how you know to be an agent. Yeah, I'm sick of the government. We ought to do something. They're probably selectively or strategically put a flatbed full of bricks down the street from where the protest is happening at. The agents will run down there, grab them bricks, start busting windows. Next thing you know, it feels good to bust a window. I was a kid, I used to do it all the time, right? They ain't none of them broke. Oh, they finna get broke. I'm practicing my aim, right? I'm throwing rocks all the way up to the 3rd floor trying to bust windows out. So you just imagine, you get a bunch of people together that's frustrated about what's going on, and you get a flatbed full of bricks. And you see somebody throwing bricks. Some of them fools, useful idiots, they gonna want to throw some bricks too. I don't want to be left out on the fun. I want to say I threw a brick and bust out a window, and that's what they're gonna use, right? And of course, when I'm gonna throw a brick at the police gonna mace the crowd. I'll turn their charge. It is their time to fight exactly for their rights. We don't have a dog in the fight. Well, that's not true. We do have a dog in the fight only because we live here too. So if the country collapses and the dollar collapses, right, and the banks close and the housing market go bust, right, we here too. So we do have a dog in the fight economically, right? A lot of us own houses here. A lot of us are in industries that could go bust, right? Martial laws, I should say the law called martial is enacted. We have the Constitution suspended. Guess what? We on house arrest too. They cut the power. We without power. They cut the water. We gonna be without power too. This lady will not leave from my side. Just got over. I know that pissed her off. She just will not leave from back there. Now she done made this other guy, I'm gonna pass me here in a minute. Made him impatient in his Cadillac. She wouldn't move back this. She just, if you supposed to be on the right, lady, if you just go in the cruise, you just hit a cruise mode. She will not move. She's just staying right back there. So yeah, unfortunately, we do have a dog in the fight. It's the economic dog. It's the housing dog. The banking dog. We all bank here. It's the food shortages. Yeah, they gonna help the grid go down. That's part of it. So that's going to affect your water and your electricity. That's why all that survival stuff I was showing you all some weeks ago is the reason why that's important. All domestic flights are going to be grounded, so ain't no getting up out of here. That's why I'm hoping to pull the trigger before it happens. At least get myself in a position where I can get up out of here while the fiat currency is still has some value to it. Yeah, we definitely got dogs in the fight, people. I understand what you mean. Don't get me wrong. I truly understand your sentiment, but I just want to point out so we're more accurate when we're discussing these things. That we have a lot to lose. Because whatever little finances that we have been able to scrape together over these few years, right? Thanks for wanting to know why you want to take money out. Of course, that's why the boy Jim Crow Joe on the infrastructure bill had that IRS bill in there, right? You spend anything over 600, the bank's got to report it. Now I don't know if the bank's got the capability of doing that, but they're going to try to set up an apparatus where they can facilitate it, but I don't think they're going to be able to do it with everybody. Why they won't know what you're doing with $600? See, they're trying to monitor your money, so this way is going to be a way for them to track things that you're doing. So if you're hoarding or prepping, right, or if you're buying, guns, or you're buying ammunition, or you're buying this, you're buying that, it's a way for them to track it. I'm not holding on to money I'm spending as I need. Yeah, me too. That's why I've been buying the storable food. I've been getting a solar stove, solar kettle, just got the Alexa Pure to purify water. I got that dehumidifier to be able to pull the water, the moisture out of the air, create water that shout out to Lead Farmer 73 had on his channel. I went out and got that. Got the life straws. So I got various ways to make. Here comes this lady again. Oh my God, she just will not go away. I'm finna cut over in front of her again. She better pass me like she's trying to pass me now. Finally, I'm sure we're finna cross in front of her. Now like she's ready to pass me. Thank God. Y'all finna see her come here on the left here. Tramp. No wonder from Michigan. You see it? Should have known Michigan. Should have known. The left lane is for passing. For anybody who don't understand this, you're supposed to pass and then get your ass back on the right. Not just stay in the left for 50 or 100 miles. Now she wants to get over. She was back there for at least 25, 30 miles. Anyway. Yeah, so if they decide when all this stuff hit the fan, if it hits the fan, that they're gonna ground domestic flights so we can't get out. Then that's when all your survival stuff is gonna kick in. So I'm hoping to make a move before it happens, but we'll see. You know, they're making it hard for you to be able to get away. They don't want you to really be able to get out. They're really trying to keep you. Track your movements. We do have a lot to lose, but we do have dogs in this fight. Don't get it twisted, people. So we basically got to cheer on the Albinoid Devils, male, so he can go up against this corrupt government. You know, they help vote these criminals in office, so they got to put their own treasure, blood, sweat, and tears on the line now for freedom. And what we do is we give them a pep talk, hand them a bottle of water and a bayonet. Go on out there and fight your corrupt government that you put in office. That's what our role is right now. We don't need to be in the forefront of this. No. They need to be taking the time to bleed from this of every Western nation. And we have to be broken thoroughly. That's the plan. So if they get a chance to set this bad boy, it's gonna be the worst you ever seen. It's going to be worse than take over the communists of China. It's going to be worse than the Bolshevik revolution that happened in Russia back in the 30s. And it's going to be worse than the Nazi and the other people. Holocaust. It's going to be worse than all three of them put together. Probably going to be worse than slavery on top of that. They're going to be looking to really go in hard on us. I'm talking about re-education camps where people are getting tortured. Right? The toughest amongst us going to be getting literally guillotined. They already feminized most of the males, so they know it's still some diehard, you know, gunslingers out here, so they're gonna have to round them up and make examples out of them like they used to do us back in the slavery times, when they would get the biggest, strongest, meanest black male they could find, tie his legs to two different horses, tar and feather him, and beat them horses so they can run the opposite direction and split them up the middle in front of everybody. Now they're gonna be looking at, hey, what up, I see you. They're gonna be looking to do that to the albinoid male now. It's his turn to experience that. He ain't gonna want to let go of his gun and, you know, his land, his treasure. He ain't ready to get treated like an N-word. He ain't ready. He is not ready. My thing is, you shouldn't be letting it get all the way to the point where you're gonna get treated like that. You know, my thing is that the time to stop them will be now, before they go full operational. They just really greasing the skids. We're not really there yet. You know, we are pushing back, and the judges, for whatever reason, we've been winning a lot in the courts now. So I don't know if it's because they feel the political winds are shifting and that we're really fed up, and that the Dems are going to take a shellacking. It's going to be a slaughteroo in the midterms, which is in November, right? So I'm sure the Dems are getting wind of this as well. It's being talked about all across social media, right? They're going to take hella L's, right? So they need a Hail Mary right now. They need a Hail Mary pass right now to hold on to power. Well, it's going to be 5 probably election cycles before they see power again, if ever. So they got to know that this is going to happen. So they're not about to just let us attempt to take back the country. So what options do they have to them on the table? One, they could go ahead and accelerate the collapse of the country. 2, they can do a false flag. Right? Like what happened September 11th. Right? But it has to be something big. That's been done. Of course, I didn't got rid of it. So I have to let it ring, guys, because I can't stop it now. I know to put it on silent, do not disturb. Sorry guys, I didn't do that. But yeah, I was saying, what's on the table for the Dems? Illinois getting ready to cross over to Iowa and to the other side of Des Moines on this moon day. How you be? How you be? How's your health over there? How's your health? How's your physical being now? How you doing over there? Can't talk to you in a minute. But anyway, what does the Dems have on the table that they can use to disrupt this slaughteroo from happening? How can they divert this slaughteroo that's about to happen? So that means they got to put enough fear, collective fear. All right, cool. They got to put enough collective fear in the people to get us back on the plantation, back on the government dole. So a war would do that. That's why they've been beating the drums of war with the Russians. But now Russia ain't no punk. Yeah, I think Imano we could win because we got NATO, but of course Russia got China. So they really shouldn't be talking about that because that has the potential to definitely spill over. But that would probably, but they should know we know this trick by now. A lot of us. So that's on the table. Also, if they do false flag, if it's big enough, that can shut everything down. And I've been hearing Russia is black folks. No, they're not. But it don't really matter at that point. We're considered Americans. We're not considered black folks. You know, the Russians look at us as American. You know, they may on the surface spare us, but in a war, you know, yeah, off of our head as well. Hispanic, Asian, anybody fighting on the American side, off with your head. Okay, so it is what it is. But I don't think they really want to do that because it ain't like this is a country that you can just push around. They got nukes. They got, you know, top flight scientists, right? And it would benefit the globalists to have two world powers like this fighting each other to eliminate the numbers. And this really works in their favor because they will back both sides. Okay, they will fund both sides because it serves a good purpose. They can crank up the war machine on both sides, fund both sides like they've been known to do throughout history, and at the same time rack up the body count. But I don't really see that happening because Russia is not a pushover. And Putin is basically thumbing his nose at the globalists. You know, they ain't got the mandate cards there. There ain't no tested mandates there. There's no mass mandates there from what I'm hearing. You know, the globalists don't like the fact that he's going against the global narrative. And then the COVID numbers are super low. You notice you don't even hear about the numbers over there because guess why? They damn it non-existent. I think China in the mix of double crossing too. The Chinese didn't come to power. They didn't come to power on their own dime. They came to power on the globalist money. That's how they came to power. People be thinking that the Chinese is independent. No, they had backers. The world elite backed them. They played. That's how, and put them in a position to come into power. Now they're pushing back on some of the stuff. So they not necessarily tables on us globally. Because you got a few actors that's decided to try to have somewhat of a break with the new order, I should say. So you gotta watch the sound on YouTube. That's why, at least for us, we definitely need to have a Africa escape plan. Shout out to Theo from the Vibe Show. I mean, from the Diaspora Channel, African Diaspora Channel. Especially for folks who's going to Sierra Leone, qualify for citizenship. Y'all know I got to tie it in. Because when stuff hit the fan, I'm going to tell them I want to go home. That's why I'm out here trying to get this bread together. I can get that land and start prepping that land. So why the money still has a value. I don't know what some of y'all plan on doing. What's, hey. Between now and November, y'all should be expecting the worst. You should expect the worst. Because they get desperate. That's when they take the gloves off. They're going to be willing to get dirty. And believe me, they can get real dirty. I was talking to Mr. Lawful, like, oh, they could do some funny business with the water. Nah, they already did that. That ain't big enough. They're trying to scare folks with yeah, that's true. But the next one, if they do that, if they go that route, the next one needs to be the real thing. It needs to be, you catch this next one, your ears are bleeding, your nose, blood is coming out your nose, even your eyes are bleeding. It needs to be the real thing if they come out with it, the next one. Then it won't be we just scared. We will be legitimately fearing for our life. And then that will get them to be able to get us to do whatever the hell they ask. I'll put my baby in the oven. Okay. You know what I'm saying? Sacrifice grandmama? Okay. To the gods of Satan? Okay. Turn over all our rights? Okay. Turn in your personal protective equipment? Okay. Rubber stamp whatever the government say? Okay. Stay in the house? Okay. Take 21 jabs? Okay. See, they'll better get people to do whatever the hell they say if the next one got you bleeding out of every hole in your body. Kind of like the Spanish flu. They call it the Spanish flu. Look it up. They call it the Spanish flu. Blood will be coming out your eyes and ears. And you had like a week to live. Look it up. All who haven't, they got plenty of documentaries on the Spanish flu. Grab one up and look it up so you can see what we could possibly go to. go that way. Now, can they generate enough?
4 miles. Take exit 8 on the right.
Can they generate?
IL 22.
Can they generate enough fear
Going to 1434
to
220th Street, Webster City.
to help them before the midterm? So that to me, if they're gonna do it, they need to roll it out this month or next month. If they're gonna roll that out, they need to roll it out. If they're gonna roll it out, they need to roll it out this month or next month. And if that's not on the table, then they've been talking about this domestic terrorism stuff. So they can get one of their groups that they didn't infiltrate it. Right? To do something big. EMP strike, that would do it. It would knock out the phones, satellites, radio, TV, electric, water. It would knock out everything. And it would have to be in a major city. I'm not, what city would it take place in? It would have to be a blue city. So LA, you can't see it happening in New York. They already hit New York once. Say that they 5 step. Yeah, you know he's angling to be like you know, the medical. He's like a Dr. Kevorkian, but for the whole planet. People like that, they don't lock up. They'll lock you up if you do some small stuff. They admire if you can kill tens of thousands. They admire that type of mind. You only can kill a few hundred, you know, 10, 12, you know, they don't really, they'll respect it because all these serial killers, they treat them with respect. We're gonna stop off at Burger King and buy you a Whopper with cheese and get you a fry, you know what I mean? And you just kill 7 people, 8, 10 people. See, they respect that kind of person. And just imagine if you the type that you got enough blood on your hands for a whole freaking small city. Yeah, you pretty much untouchable. That's why he been lying. He been up there in front of Congress lying, got caught lying about gain of function. He got caught lying about the fact that the money went through certain ghost agencies or whatever. He had something to do with it. He said he didn't. That was a lie. Gain of function was a lie. The fact that he had something to do with it, he said he didn't. That was a lie. He said we didn't need masks. Then he said we did need masks. Then when they asked him about the mandate, we can't mandate, not constitutional. 5 months later, everybody need to get it and it should be mandated. So he just been lying all around the board. And if you notice, no indictments, right? No subpoenas, nothing. He's been on Congress several times lying. What's the consequence? What? Nothing, right? No charges been brought, nothing. He's still running around here as if his word means something. Instead of interviewing him like he's the country's doctor. He's untouchable. He's a Dr. Kevorkian. So they're not gonna let him go down. you know, and he loved that position. He reveled in the fact that he's able to openly get people to self-delete. He revels in that. So powers that be are proud, or not proud, but you know, they champion his work. Give him a pat on the head. Matter of fact, give him a raise. You know, give him a private jet so we can fly around and do interviews. So ain't nothing gonna happen to him. This is what we face with people. A lot of people like, oh man, bring back the happy videos. For what? This is not a happy time. We're on the verge of losing everything. Seems like people don't get it. They'll get it once we lose it all. Everything I'm saying is gonna come back like, man, H.A.M was talking like that. I thought he was just talking. No, I'm not just talking. Our folks just don't do no studying. Okay? Look at other places that were taken over, and look at what happened. Some places didn't get better, they got worse. The communists took over China. Go back and look at that. And allegedly, there was over 100 million, you know, got put in the ground after the takeover. Yeah. That was when I was in Russia. And then in China, when they took over, they said it was more like 300. Without it. Those are the main ones they have at this point. IED, some type of, you know, pulse type of thing. They can blame it on domestic terrorists. Or the real virus. That one that's like, you know, schizophrenic, evil, Tasmanian devil type of virus. But when they release that joint, like I said, it's got you bleeding out of every, you know, every hole in your body. Then when they document that, that'll get us really scared. Now they can go ahead and shut it down, right? So those are the main things: IED situation, or either a dirty bomb. Dirty bomb is a suitcase nuke. I don't know if they're willing to go the nuclear route, but I think they would try it. I don't know what city. It'd probably be California. I'm gonna say them hit to New York again. It's too close to DC, so I would say they probably would like to hit California. If I had to guess. So a suitcase nuke, IUD post type of thing with knockout satellites and stuff. The real virus, schizophrenic Tasmanian devil cousin of the cold beer flu. When they didn't put all kind of stuff in it. They need something to suspend the Constitution. So it's got to be something big, guys. If they don't do that, they're gonna get wiped out. They're gonna lose the House, the Senate. That's gonna make Jim Crow Joe lame duck. He ain't gonna be able to get nothing done. Trump has already announced privately that in certain circles that he's going to run again. If he run, that propaganda is not going to be at a fool us this time, so he's going to win. And now they secretly asking Miss Hillary Clinton to run 2024. Yep, that's what I've been hearing. They're asking her to run. Yep. So in other words, we in trouble. Because if she get in there, oh my God. I can't see that happening. But the other stuff will go. West Coast knows some stuff. That's the only thing I see on the table, guys. I don't know what nobody else is seeing. This is the rumblings that's happening around the web. These are the ideas that's coming out. So I don't see nothing else. What else can they do to keep power? They finna lose. So they need to be able to suspend the Constitution. It got to be something big. You can't suspend the Constitution for something small. They've been talking about a first nuclear strike on Russia. This is how desperate they're talking. It's going to be this year. I would say somewhat going into the second quarter. If I had to guess, my educated guess would be somewhere going into the second quarter. They're going to plummet the dollar. That would be the time to do it. We either got to do it then or at the end of the second into the third. You got to do it before, well before November. So you can do it maybe you can get us, maybe they can get us to the summer. They can pull the trigger in August. You don't want them artificially pulling the trigger too close to November. These are the things that's being talked about around the web when you go to alternative sites. That's where I'm getting my talking points, and then based off of what I've been seeing from history, this is what they normally do when they get to the point where they get desperate. And they're at the point now where it's starting to get desperation time. It took a bunch of losses a couple weeks ago. That John Lewis voters' rights thing, which is malarkey, that didn't pass. Thank God to that female senator, I think she's from Wyoming or whatever. Wyoming or Mexico, where the hell she's from. And then Joe Manchin. And of course, the Democrats that didn't, the Republicans that didn't vote for it. Dems flipping parties to become Republicans. So what does that tell you? Y'all been noticing that? You got a lot of Dems flipping parties. So what does that signify? What is that saying? What message is they putting out? What it says to me is rats fleeing a sinking ship. I even heard over there on my man's channel, my favorite YouTuber, Valdez, he said, no, he had a clip from Charlemagne the God on this channel, and this chump said, because I can't stand this chump, because he just, if you know about him, you know why I can't rock with him. But he said something that did make a lot of sense. He said the Democrats act like if you don't vote for them, it's going to be the end of democracy, right? And then he said, well, if we vote for you, why y'all don't govern like it's going to be the end of democracy? Because if you vote for them, you get them in office, they don't govern like it's going to be, like they're going to restore, democracy or the republic. They get in there and just go along with the narrative to the Great Reset. So I know they want to cancel him. You know what I mean? Because he team Democrat all the way, but now he started to question it. So I don't know if it's a thing that he really started to pick up on the policies that's happening that's not on nothing, or the fact that he feels that it's gonna get wiped out in the midterms. Now he's changing his tune. The fact that he even said that, I know they want his head on a silver platter. How dare you question us? You're supposed to pull and toe the party line. Plantation buck. We can counsel you. And he got a couple of skeletons in his closet, so he really should keep his mouth closed. Yeah, he got some skeletons in his closet, so he really should keep his mouth closed. It's just kind of funny now that all the deals are starting to come out finally and start to question how they voted. This is not what they voted for. Like, dude been in office 50 years, ain't done nothing, so I don't know what y'all thought. If they if Trump, that's why they trying to indict him on anything now. They trying to just throw anything at him now. They need to try to get some type of, they try to tarnish, but I don't think they're going to be able to make nothing stick. But they've been trying, in 5 years, they haven't made nothing stick. So they steady going after anything. We're lifting up small rocks now. All the big rocks been turned over already. Now they're looking at small rocks. And they haven't been able to find nothing in 5 years. I let you know, there's all been a lie. Everybody fell for it except a few of us. I was among those few. I didn't believe nothing because to me they were treating like, you know what I'm saying, like N-word. Okay? So if he gets back in there, guess what? Out there said something else that made a lot of sense. This time when he runs, he's going to be running as a politician, not as a businessman. So let that sink in. That might go over y'all heads. I'll say it again. This time when he runs, he's going to be running as a politician, not as a businessman. Who in here care to elaborate on what I mean? Anybody? That's if we get that far. Anybody want to elaborate on what I mean? Wow. pay attention to politics, guys. But if you don't, you're not gonna have a head start on when they get the hell up out of here. If you listen to politics and you try to keep your ear to what's happening, you might get a heads up so you know when to pull the trigger. That's why I pay attention to it every day. Nobody want to take a stab at it, huh? West Coast is still in here. You want to take a stab at it? There we go. We got Nora the Great. Both sides are parties of the same evil system. Yeah, that's true. But if you notice, it's a separation, Nora the Great. Look how they're handing Biden these softball questions, but yet they had a microscope up in Trump's butt. So it is a difference. I see the with the range stop heavy. Not sure what you mean. If you can elaborate. Shorter sentences so I can read while we drive. Yeah, that's true, Nora the Great, but look how Jim Crow Joe is getting softball questions. You don't have to answer the press corps, right? He's taking selective pre-screened questions and pre-screened selective journalists from certain outlets only. And they're giving him softball questions, right? And he's basically being praised. So when Orange Man was in there, guess what? They had a microscope up his butt. They was investigating everything. So it's clearly a distinction. Demonized in the news, every news cycle of every minute, all around the planet. So it's clearly a difference. And you live long enough to see that with your own eyes. So I get what you're saying. You know, I honestly get what you're saying. But it's definitely a difference. And the way I would classify that is, you got different organizations who have different agendas, right? And they don't all agree. Different factions in these governmental bodies that have different agendas and different aims, and that's why they was attacking him so hard, because he was more of a businessman. So he would give them something that they wanted, but at the same time he asked for something in return that either offset what they was doing, or it made something else top heavy for the people. I could go with that. But Biden is just like, screw the people. Okay? What did he say? We getting on they last nerve. Ain't that what he said? You trying my patience. Ain't that what he said? Who the hell was he talking to? You know what I'm saying? So, and let you know, he with all the shenanigans. Why? Because he was bought and paid for. That's why they selected him. Right? That's why they pushed out old man Sanders. Because really, he was the one in line for the nomination, the front runner for the Democratic Party. He was the front runner. He was the one that got the most votes. But guess what? They pulled rank. squeeze them out and select the joke because they know he got plenty skeletons that we can hold over his head. Technically, it should have been Old Man Sanders going up against Orange Man. Now, how many saw that when it was happening? I saw it. I saw how they did the switcheroo. That's how I knew stuff was going to be jacked up. I thought it was going to take him at least 2 years to jack the country up. He did it in a year. And I know he ain't, you know he a puppet, guys, I get it. But the people, the globalists who run the planet, you really don't, you know some of the names, but you can't really hang the blame on them because you don't get to see them. They're not in the press, you know. Their financial records is not available to the public. They're above the law of every country. They're outside of it. We gotta blame the puppet that we see in front of us. We know it ain't him. He just following, you know, whatever they give him. He's so freaking out of it, he just probably giving papers to sign. Sign right here. He ain't reading none of that mess. And then the teleprompter, just reading off the teleprompter when he do a press conference. He can't do that well. The minute he go off the teleprompter, he go off his own, off the teleprompter, you see he go into them long gas and run-on sentences and shit that don't make sense. Like, what the hell is he talking about? The media acts like they don't see it. Y'all see it. I ain't making none of this stuff up. This is what's really happening here. Put his senile old dementia-ridden self in there because they know they're gonna be able to just basically get in the. They probably got to hold his hand and write his name like you do with somebody in kindergarten. He get ready to come on, they probably shoot him up with something. That stuff don't last but like 30 minutes. But if he talk for over 30 minutes, he start talking crazy. He start sounding like he been drinking Ripple or something. Y'all see him? You can't go back and look at any of the time he giving a press conference. He started out good. Okay. Hey, shit, maybe I was wrong about him. About halfway in, he come to crazy talk. So I would say, y'all better start making your plans. If you're gonna stay here and go down with the ship, you better get you some storable food. You better have access to some water in case it gets shut off. Access to power with solar generators and regular generators. Probably ain't gonna have no access to gasoline. Right? I would say you need at least a year worth. You need some type of personal protection. A lot of folks don't follow politics, especially people that's at the bottom of society. That's gonna be the biggest thing. Those are gonna be the ones, the biggest threat. People at the bottom will be prepared. Because once everything stops moving, as far as the movement of goods, oh my God, they're gonna come out of their houses. It's gonna be on like Donkey Kong. Knowing how the system order out of chaos, they're gonna let it happen. say for 3 days with no food, people will be in the street ready to cannibalize each other. That's it. 36 hours, no food. The Negroes will be in the street. And everybody else. Buck wild. So I would think they're going to let the military and the armed forces stand down. Now, hopefully I'm wrong, people. It'd be nice if I'm wrong, but this is what they seem like they pushing us toward. It'd be nice if I'm wrong. I can't see the Dems just letting the whole party just get annihilated. They're on the verge of getting a lot annihilated, guys. They're looking to lose about 50 seats between the House of Representatives and the Senate. They cannot afford to lose 50 seats. It'll be the end of their party. Now I know the Republicans and the rhinos or whatever, Republican in name only, rhinos, I get it. They you know, they're corrupted, they got skeletons as well. They can be manipulated, right? I get it. But at least we can have a victory as the people that we eliminated one of the snakes. We got a two-headed snake. You feel me? So at least we can have a victory by getting rid of one of the heads. Let's chop one of the heads off. Now all we gotta do is worry about the other one. So when the Republicans when they go right into the same trick bag, okay, cool. Now we can focus on them and cut their head off, and guess what? That's the end of the snake. So that's my philosophy on dealing with this. All that, well, the Republicans just as bad. Yeah, I get it. But that's not political steadfastness to just say that and actually not have a plan on how to deal with them. So my plan is, hey, let's get rid of one of the snakes. Let's destroy the Democrats first. They're like the monster that you got tied up in the basement that you finally untied and he just running amok. So let's get rid of him first. And then we got the one that pretends to be good, Republicans, right? Not so bad. Lesser of two evils. Now we could just focus. Everybody could just laser focus on them now. Now we could watch them like a hawk. Everything they're doing, everything they're saying, everything they're passing, everything they're proposing, promoting, all that. Now we could just focus on them. And when they start going into that same new order trick bag, guess what? Now we can come for their head. Does that make sense, guys? Does that make sense to you all? Does that make sense to you all? That sounds like a viable plan that we could do, right? Hello? Anybody out there? Y'all working and can't respond, but it is what it is. There we go. We're here. What do you think? You think that's a viable plan? alluding to it. I done said it a couple of times, but I think it's even more evident now. In my mind, I'm thinking that's the only way. That's the only recourse we really have. But the globalists is hoping for a civil war. They really need the two-party system in order to create the environment for a civil war. So it's going to be hard for them to keep running with that narrative if we destroy one of the heads. See, that's what I'm thinking. And it's going to have ramifications worldwide. You know what I mean? They're able to pull off what they're trying to do, that is going to have ramifications worldwide. It's going to affect Africa as well. And Africa have the most or I should say they have the greatest chance to rebound, because guess what? They've been intentionally keeping Africa poor anyway. So to the brothers and sisters on the continent, you know, it ain't gonna really affect them the same. They live off the land anyway. You know? But now over here, in the Western nation, oh yeah, it's gonna be catastrophic for the Western nations. Especially here, because we done got so spoiled, so decadent. Now, 3/4 of the population here is not ready for these type of scenarios I'm talking about. They're not ready. They are not ready. And they know the best way is to be able to suspend that Constitution and collapse the dollar. They probably could do a whole, you know, triple whammy. They can provoke a war with Russia, collapse the dollar, and bring about the mother of all pandemics, the real one. Hit us with 3 of them. Well, they hit us with 3 of them, we out of there. I don't think they would try that, because I don't think they'd be able to contain us. And, you know, it'd be hard for them to contain everything if they unleashed all of it at once on us. It'd be hard for them to contain it. That'd have to be shook all the way up. About the dollar, and you do those other 2. Oh my God, yeah, we beat. But I hope I'm wrong. I hope I'm wrong about everything. If I am, hey, I would gladly come on here and say, hey guys, I was wrong, but I'm glad that none of that stuff came to pass. We could get somewhere and retire in comfort. Okay? But that's the best case scenario. You know? Wise man or woman can't just look at the best case scenario now. We gotta look at all of the things that is on the table. That's a more realistic approach. And that's where I'm at with it. I'm not trying to just be out here on some wishing on the star, all that mess. No, not what I see. See them doing something completely opposite. truly against the people. And then I haven't read a lot of the books that the elite have
Continue
published.
on I-80.
And I've seen a lot of the movies, a lot of the fiction movies that you see, we've seen over the last 30 years have come from books that some of the globalists have written. I don't know if y'all know that.
Going to 1434 220th Street, Webster City on I-80.
Yeah. My internet is slow. I am catching every other word. Wow. Where are you at? Sweet Bear? Lord the Great? Back here in the States? Or the States, I should say. That's why I'm looking to get out, people. If I could get out, I would sure love to get on out of here. Even though I'm doing well, that's the part where I'm torn at. I'm doing well. I just picked the right industry at the right time. Okay. I built up such a work ethic that companies are willing to pay me a premium for. So I'm doing well. That's why I'm like, man, I don't want to leave because I'm doing so good. But I know it can get to a point where I won't be able to leave. Now what? You all have a great night. Oh, you going? All right. Holler back. I'm just talking now to keeping me occupied while I'm driving. Appreciate you hanging out, as always. Appreciate your contributions as well, Sweet Berry. I think I've not seen them. Appreciate you. You know that. Appreciate you. So yeah, while I'm doing good, that's why I say, while people are doing good, this will be the time, guys, to come over to Africa Escape Plan. Should be taking trips, should be booking tours, should be visiting, should be going with established people that can show you around and developing your network, meeting people, seeing what people you can trust, where you can go, nice areas. You need to be doing that right now. See what countries you can repatriate to. Still in the Gambia. Oh, no wonder it's lagging. That's why it's lagging. I'm sorry about that. You know. But I said I need to probably come on and give y'all more videos while I'm driving, because guess what? It keeps me alert. And I'm talking about subjects that I really care about, near and dear. And we need to be talking about these type of subjects anyway. I'm being silly on the Hickory. Oh, okay. That's what's up. That's what's up. Should have came with me, but it's all good. I'm going with Dynas, but I'm going with Dynas also to Nigeria in August. Yeah. So we'll be there together. You'll see me. I'm sure we'll be in the same spaces at the same time. Yeah. Shout out to Brother Dynas. I definitely will be going to Nigeria with him. The world don't collapse before then. I already paid my deposit. next check, I'll go ahead and start sending in some of the payments. Nigeria was always on my list, and then after that, that'll be, I'm gonna slow down and just traveling just for the visit, just to visit and see other countries. And I'm transitioning to building. Now it's time to build. Even if I gotta grab just a small plot for right now to get that going until I'm able to get more, but I got some folks working over there on my behalf. We'll see what they turn up. Right now, you don't really need a whole lot. You just need something. So if stuff hit the fan, you got somewhere to go when you get up out of here. As if you're not planning on staying. But shout out to the folks up there in Canada. I hope everything is peaceful. I hope they can push back on that dude. I hope they can force that dude out of office. Still got, yeah, I still got it. But like I was saying, the reason why I've been kind of putting that on the back burner now is because everything politically has been accelerated. So you have to switch up your plan. I noticed something about us black folks. We tend to make a plan and we don't deviate from it no matter what else has happened. No, other things, external forces in the world has forced me to reconsider. Yeah, I still got the 2 town lots there, but I'm a citizen of Sierra Leone. So I have more rights and privileges there. Plus, the exchange rate is much more beneficial to our U.S. dollar than the Ghanaian CD. It's only 5 to 1. So you get 5 Ghana CDs to every dollar. If you come to Sierra Leone, you get like 11,000 to 1. 11,000 leones to every dollar. So that exchange rate is ridiculous. So I get more for my USD in Sierra Leone. Then I'm a citizen with full rights and privileges. I can own land, I can run businesses, I can get bank accounts. I got ID, so I can do any of that stuff there. Right? It's a smaller country with a lot less bureaucracy. Okay? Then we have a direct connect to it because of what happened during slavery. Right? During and after slavery. So we have a history to that particular land. We got a lot of us got connection to Ghana as well, but I haven't really seen too many people that I've known DNA to come back to Ghana. See, I've been seeing Guinea-Bissau, Guinea, Sierra Leone, Liberia, freaking Equatorial Guinea, Cameroon, Ivory Coast. That's why I've been seeing most people come from Nigeria, and I've seen a few folks come back to Ghana. So the benefits really outweigh right now in my present state. The benefits of going to Sierra Leone is a lot more beneficial to me than going to Ghana right now. But I still plan on keeping that land and putting residential rentals on that land. Place for me to stay and then some rentals. But right now that stuff is hitting the fan and I'm not sure how things are gonna go, and I gotta make a decision which one I'm going to first. If I I had to pull the trigger right now and leave, I would go to Sierra Leone. Hands down. Even though I got a lot of connections in Ghana. A lot. And then once I'm over there in Sierra Leone, I can always catch the flight to Ghana to do what I need to do there. Stay with some of the people that's there, right? To get that property going. But right now, my focus is on Sierra Leone. Just for obvious reasons. Like I said, it's a lot more beneficial there for us. Especially if your DNA comes back as a match with one of the 16 tribes.
In 1 3/4 miles, take exit 239B on the right to I-380
That's where I'm
North.
at. You know? That's where I'm at with that. You know? Then I got what were you saying, West Coast? It took you off of that. You know, I got my shorty there too. There you go. Your father's side came back. Oh, really? Okay. Burkina Faso. See what I mean? That's a further question. Yep. See? Shows up in our DNA, you know what I mean? Mine came back to Sierra Leone and Cameroon.
Take exit 239B on the right to I-380
The
North.
government there is not really bending over backwards to offer folks the diaspora citizenship. They're not doing that. I mean, people have received it, and I do know several people who have received their Ghanaian citizenship. It wasn't that many, like 120 something, 28, something like that, 32. And that was like, hell, 2.5 years ago now. Since COVID hit, ain't nobody received it. Now I got the application to become a resident. That because in the community that we're building there, on one of the committees, that's one of the criteria. They up the criteria that you got to be a resident. So I got to apply for my residency there. So go ahead and do that. That's for 2 years. Said these external forces is forcing me to reconsider a lot of my plans, my initial plans pre-COVID. Pre-COVID, I was dead set on going to Ghana, period. Okay. Now you got to get in somewhere where you got the best chances to flourish, you know, and I feel going there would be the best opportunity. Got me a shorty now that I'm really feeling. Seems like she's really feeling me. So I'm gonna put the best foot forward with that. Got my citizenship. Take my son over there in April to get it. For a shorty for him. Once we both got our green passports, I'm also getting them in the trucking business. Well, I've been telling them, like, look, so we put this money together, we go over there and buy quite a bit, get some stuff built ASAP. And I'll go ahead and, you know, if he's not willing to come over right now, on a full-time basis, I'll go ahead and do it on a semi full-time basis. Like I said, 6 months here, 6 months there. If it get too rough here, I'm there permanently. And I could be there running. If he decides he don't want to come right now, he can stay here and try to deal with what's happening. More likely, if stuff gets too rough, he gonna be like, man, I'm with my dad. You know what I mean? I've been telling him about this stuff, shoot, ever since he was about 8 years old. Next birthday, he'll be 26. Early on, he thought I was just talking. You know how kids is. I looked at me, Dad, damn, Dad, all you talk about is doom and gloom. Like, yeah. Somebody got to tell you about it, because let everybody else tell you it's like ain't nothing happening. It's all good. It ain't all good. We all see it now. They done took the mask off, and now they done let evil run amok on the face of the planet. Now he sees it, because now when me and him talking, he like, yeah, he gets it now. He like, yeah, Dad, yeah. He's not pushing back on none of the stuff I've been proposing. So he's like, yeah, whatever you want to do, Dad, let's roll with it. So he's trusting my judgment, and I'm like, well, if the stuff don't happen, then great. We just stay here and keep the trucking thing running, keep making that money. Making that bread, and then we go over there and build up the empire that we're trying to build up. Employ as many of our brothers and sisters as we can, intermarry into the tribe, have us some kids, and you know, bury me in the African soil. That's how I look at it. Organic foods, straight from Mother Earth. Slow on the aging process. Get away from the GMO food, all this fluoridated water, all these toxic chemtrails in the air. Get rid of all this. Propagandist media. Very little stress. That's where I'm at with it. That's definitely where I'm at with it. So that's the plan. My plan is evolving based off of the political means. You know, coming up with contingency plans. My goal initially would be to build up both places and fly back and forth. It's really on beaches, those guys. Yeah, I love the beaches too. Beaches, the mountains, the fertile farmland, just the openness of the country. Once you get outside of Freetown, it's literally millions of acres. Nobody owns, nobody lives on it. There's plenty of land that'll get. Everybody's friendly, hospitable, right? A lot of folks saying welcome home. A lot of them know the history of what happened to us. The president has told us to come home. And not only has he told us to come home, he has put forth and has enthusiastically embraced the fact that we're coming, right? And allowing us to take the oath of allegiance to become citizens. So he putting his money where his mouth is. Now I'm just trying to see if they're gonna go through with the rumors that I've been hearing about giving us land, because, like I said before, technically we would be homeless once we show up there. You know, not homeless to the same degree that we find homeless here in America or homeless in Africa. The fact is, we just don't have a place to stay once we show up there. That's what I mean. And that's why I use that terminology, to get them to see the severity of the situation. Yeah, we want to come back, but we don't have nowhere to go initially. So some of that state land, you know, see if they can partner some of it. You know, they ain't necessarily got to give us 100 acres. I'd take 10. Matter of fact, I'd take an acre. You know. So that's where I'm at with it. That's my mindset. My plans are changing based upon the political winds, and I'm coming up with Plan B, Plan C, Plan D. I know all that good stuff will happen, but the problem is when this year. That's when. The problem is people been saying when to try to get an idea. The idea is it has to. We need to see what's going to happen between now and November. The dams looking to have a slaughter rule in November. They're looking to lose somewhere around 25 to 50 seats between the House and the Senate, which would basically put a fork in them. They done. Their party is done. So we can effectively kill one snake, one head of the snake. Okay? But the problem is, they're getting at the polls, they're doing little impromptu polls, right? And they're seeing that the popularity of the Dems and Jim Crow Joe is below 30%. So they can't win no elections with the numbers being below 30%, because that might not even be the real numbers. So the real numbers may be, less than, 25. You know, plus or minus 5. They can't win no elections if they 25% in the polls. Got to be at least 51% to even have a chance to win some election, even if they decide to do funny math with the ballots. You know, you still got to be up there in order to do the funny math. You can't be below 25 and then you got to do the funny math too. Oh no. I mean, eventually the continent will give us all land. And, yeah, eventually, but I'm talking about right now, West Coast. I get that, but I'm saying we got between now and November to see what's going to happen. Are they going to make it happen between now and November? That's what I'm saying. If the West fall, it takes the whole world with it. Now, we could get used to living a simpler life in the continent. That's my plan. You know, we can go back to like the brothers and sisters are doing there now. They go down to some of them that don't have water running in the house. They go down to the stream, take their bath, wash their dishes, wash their clothes, swim, all that. Get their drinking water from it, all that. You know, a lot of us may not want to do that, but I do it to have freedom. Hell yeah, I do it. You know what I mean? And they go right behind their house and pick something, bring it in there, wash it off, and cook it and eat it. Same thing I'm gonna do. You know? So, yeah, eventually, yeah. But my thing is, what's gonna happen in the next 8 months? Let me pull off, get some fuel. Yeah, my thing, what's going to happen in the next 8 months? If the Dems look like they finna get slaughtered, that's when the desperation sets in. That's
Take
when
the ramp ahead.
they'll be looking to do some unscrupulous acts. See, that's where I'm at with it. And if I'm wrong, then great. You got a problem with being wrong. I'm just saying these are some of the things that's being talked about on the web. You go to some of the alternative news sites, they're trying to shut down all conservative news sites now. They're going after them, so they let you know they're trying to silence dissent. They're trying to make it illegal to assembly, so you can't even come against the government. Maybe people can't see that they're laying the groundwork for a total takeover. I see it. That's why I'm saying I might be willing to pull the trigger early. I basically take whatever I can get right now. Be willing to take whatever I can get right now, guys. Yeah, that's what I'm saying it like that, West Coast. If stuff don't happen, then great. If I'm being extreme, then great. I'd rather be extreme and be prepared for the worst. And then if stuff doesn't come through that way, if they say that the Democrats just take a shellacking in the midterms and they just put up with it, and then we just dealing with the Republicans, and then they just co-opt the Republicans, and then we still got, a snake in power, then cool. At least that'll give us more time, because they ain't gonna just come right out the gate with the shenanigans, right? Because it's gonna be easier to point the finger at them. We ain't got the Democrats blame stuff on, so we'll be able to just focus in on the enemy at hand. So even if that happened, that would still put us in a better light, and it would give us more time to get ready to exit us. You did give us more time to put some bread together. You know what I mean? Maybe give us another, give us to 2024. So by that time, yeah, I have everything I need to get on up out of here. Yeah, you give me 2.5 more years. Yeah, I'm sliding over there with, man. I'm over there with the quickness. Anybody open over there? Nope. Bag it up. Let me bag it up. Some dude working on that pump, so I'm about to go to one of these pumps. So that's where I'm at with it, West Coast. If we can get to 2024 unscathed, then yeah, I have way more than enough to get on up out of here. But really, I just want a lot because I want a lot. Really, I don't need as much as I think I need. I know that. Really, 1 acre is all I really need for me. Me and my son can share an acre. Shoot, that's 6 town lots. He have a house on one. I have a house on one. That's 2. We have 4 lots left, and we can put our food on them 4 lots. That'll be enough money for me and him. I mean, enough food, I should say. And soon to be wives. So that's where I'm at with it. I hate coming into these pumps at an angle. I ain't gonna tell you how many times I've seen guys tear up these pumps. Be them new drivers though. You did. All right, guys, I'm gonna go ahead and get out. You dig? We're gonna go on and shut it down. Gave y'all some information to put on y'all minds, and I'll be coming back more and more to talk to you all about this, because this is the times that we face with, and this is what the talk should be about. We could talk about Africa and this and that, and doing this and that. But really, we up under some financial pressures here, and some let me write this down. Some political pressure. So we got to deal with the thing that's most pressing, and that's that first, and then we can worry about other stuff. But because folks who ready, hey, get your land. Try to get you right now. Even if you can't find the land, get you an apartment. Rent an apartment for 2 years or a year or whatever, and just go on and go. And then that way you got time to really look for some land. And I hope I ain't left my damn wallet. I just thought about it. All right, let me go, guys. I gotta look for this wallet. So until next time, peace and Black African power. Holla at y'all. Find this wallet.